If you're running a regular search campaign or responsive search ads that aren't converting, in today's video we'll show you how to make sure that your responsive search ads are generating more and higher quality leads. Now, we just went into ads and decided to create a new ad just to show you what the ad structure looks like inside responsive search ads and why a lot of the time you might be getting a lot of clicks on your ads that aren't converting. So, what Google usually recommends with the ad copy is that you have all of these headlines filled in, like you see here, and same with all of your descriptions. And that way, Google can cycle through two headlines and two descriptions every time your ad is shown because you have 15 headlines that you can work with, but only two of them, if not three maximum, can be shown at any given time. So Google likes to have as many different combinations of possible of headlines and descriptions that they can show at any time. And that's useful from a testing perspective because you have so much data there that you can actually work with. But the issue with this is that, first of all, these headlines were automatically generated by Google, so they're definitely not the best headlines that you can use. Because if this was an artificial grass installation ad, as it's supposed to be, having a headline like top notch landscaping services, an artificial grass supplier, which are not when it's installation, and for example, Dublin and surrounding areas, the issue with having so many different headlines to work with and having them all unpinned is that you might have some of your headlines with keyword focus, but then you might have other headlines that are simply just benefits like Dublin and surrounding areas and no more mowing and watering, or even 5-star rated. What if it was the case that a lot of the time Google is showing your ads and it's just saying Dublin and surrounding areas and 5-star rated, but doesn't actually mention AstroTurf installation? What can happen there in a lot of cases is that that ad might get a lot of clicks to go to your landing page, but then the conversion rate is really low because they're not actually looking for artificial grass installation. They just clicked on the ad not knowing actually what it was. And then they land on a landing page that is specific to artificial turf installation. And then they don't even feel like they're in the right place because that doesn't match with what they clicked on in the first place in your ad copy. And that's one of the major flaws of giving Google full control over your headlines because if you have two headlines appear that don't have any keyword focus, they might get a lot of clicks, but I imagine the conversion rate would be a lot lower on these because what they click on in the first place isn't what they get when they click onto your landing page. So, one thing you could do, which will massively improve the conversion rate from your ads, is, for example, if this was an artificial grass installation ad and the landing page is for artificial grass installation, then what I would do is pin this headline to show in only position one. So that way, if all of the keywords are related to artificial turf or artificial grass installation, you know for a fact that artificial grass installation is the first headline they'll see. And not only is this going to improve your click through rate, but for those people that do click, they are more likely to convert because on your landing page, it's also going to be artificial grass installation. And from keyword to ad to landing page, there's clear alignment throughout and there's full consistency. And the likelihood of you getting the conversion is a lot higher than when somebody clicked on the ad where they just shown, for example, a call to action and another random benefit that doesn't have any keyword focus. And this is why we like to pin headlines, as it gives us some control over what the other person sees when they see our ad. And regardless of whether you want to give Google full control and cycle through the headlines themselves, or if you decide to pin headlines and have more control over your own ad copy, you need to have keyword focus in your ads regardless. So if all of the keywords here were for artificial grass installation specifically, then you want to have as much mention of that as possible in your headlines and descriptions because this is going to play a massive role in both ad relevance and also click through rate because you have ad copy that makes the user feel like they're in the right place. And if you have good ad relevance and a good click through rate, then these are going to play a massive role in improving your overall quality score. And especially if that goes to a landing page that's relevant to artificial grass installation as well, that's going to go the extra mile to really give you the highest quality score possible. And now, just using this automatically generated ad from Google as an example, regardless of the method you choose for your ad copy, they all need to follow some three core fundamentals of identifying the problem, which you would do with your keyword focus here, like we have with artificial grass installation. So that way they know straight away that we can solve the problem that they have. The next one then is benefits, or why would they choose me? Where you can have things like, top notch artificial grass services would be a better one here. You could say the areas that you target would be, I guess, a benefit. No more mowing and watering. 20% off, 5-star rated. Those are examples of benefits. And what Google really missed here in these headlines is that there aren't any call to actions, but things like schedule an assessment or call us today for a free quote would be examples of call to actions that you could include. And these apply to your descriptions as well. So identifying the problem with your keyword focus, giving reasons to buy, and calls to action. And the one thing that'll really have the most impact if you take away from this video is that if there's clear alignment between the keywords that you're targeting, the ad copy that they see, and the landing page that they land on, you're going to be giving them as much reason as possible to convert on your ad, because from the very beginning, you're highlighting that you offer exactly what they're looking for. And the two different ways you can do this are what Google recommends, first of all, of having 15 headlines, unpinned, and 4 descriptions. So you have as many different combinations as possible to work with. Even though if you are using that method, I'd recommend coming up with better headlines and descriptions than this and not just using the ones automatically generated by them. And if you did go that route, you could, for example, have 5 keyword focus headlines, so 5 that are specific to artificial grass installation or fitting. You could have 5 benefits of why they would choose you, and then the last few headlines then could be call to action specifically. And then you could just implement all 3 into your 4 descriptions. But then just to show you a really simple real ad that we're running with a click-through rate of 20% and a conversion rate of 23% in the last 30 days alone, is simply having our keyword focus pinned as headline 1. So no matter what, it is the first headline they see, immediately followed by a benefit. So for example, get a free quote in minutes like we have here, and another benefit underneath that then. So sometimes Google might show all 3 headlines, but sometimes they might only show 2. And we like using this as a headline as well because it outlines both a benefit and a call to action all in one. And then we just have 2 simple descriptions right underneath that then as well, but all with keyword focus, giving reasons to buy, and call to actions as well, using the full 90 characters available. And we were running 3 separate ads in this ad group at first, but because we only had 3 pinned headlines and 2 descriptions, we were able to see really quickly which of these 3 ads were going to perform best. And now we've just been able to focus all of our budget for this ad group on that one ad that was clearly performing best from the very beginning. So now that we know that any traffic we're getting for this ad group is likely to convert at a high rate with a high click through rate, and because our click through rate as well on this ad group is so high, we'll get rewarded from Google for this by ranking higher than our competitors because our ad is more relevant than theirs. And with that as well, getting a lower cost per click because Google thinks the quality of our ad is higher. So that is why as well the ad strength score given to you by Google is very misleading. And you think that, you might have a really bad quality score and bad results overall if ad strength is poor. But that's just a metric basically made up by Google that is only given to you based on how many of their recommendations that you follow and isn't actually a reflection on the quality of your ad. Now, I hope this video helped and just gave you some clarity on what you can do to make ad copy that converts at a much higher rate inside Google Ads. And now, if you do have any questions about anything we mentioned inside this video, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you do like this Google Ads related content as well, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel as we'll be posting all things related to Google Ads here daily. And hopefully we'll see you inside the next video.